Alright. Unfortunately, not going to record the DLC today. Don't really have time, but the reason I'm recording this is because I figured out what I was going to do involving it. I know I said I would go back and heal. However, I have zero escape ropes. If I go through the entirety of my inventory, it's just not there. And I physically cannot leave. So, I mean, I was actually thinking, because here was my original sort of like thought process. When the escape ropes couldn't work, I thought I would go back and then come out the main way since the sky cultists might be gone, but I literally cannot leave regardless. So I hope I don't have some sort of trainer battle. If so, that would suck because I have like a half health Pokemon. I assume not. I assume it's just going to be some sort of cutscene involving Rayquaza, but yeah, I'm going to go through these two again. This is pretty funny. Thanks for being East. I never liked the guy. Because he's dead now. He's like gone. He was sacrificed to summon Rayquaza. And this one's like, man, I love East. Definitely the best leader. And what did these two say? I mean, here's the thing. In this one right here, the one that I'm facing, that's insight that, you know, something's going to go wrong in that the augur, what's his name, Yern? Yeah, Yern, he's not going to be able to control Rayquaza, or at least I'm fairly sure. And then what this one said, I was predicting that, I had a few predictions going into this, before this, like, scenario. I thought that either, A, the augur was behind pretty much all of the cults, or basically that all of the cults responded to him for some sort of, like, underlying motive or agenda. Or I thought he was simply so focused on, I guess, portraying himself as a deity, like a demigod, to the citizens of the region. What region is this called? I don't even know. But when doing so, he was just actually, in reality, very incompetent and basically unable to deal with the cults, which is why they were roaming around. Or, well, he was portraying himself as handling the problem, when in reality he just couldn't really do anything about it, and then the Sky Cult got to him or whatever. But it was interesting, because both of those predictions ended up being wrong. Because, as we know now, he is the leader of solely the Sky Cult. He has no affiliation with the other cults. In that it's quite possible there were dozens upon dozens of cults roaming before the second augur came into power, because we know he took a hard stand against cultists. Or, well, cults besides the Sky Cult. So he probably stamped out all but the current cults around. What region is this? I could probably see. I mean, I'm surprised I actually don't remember. Let's go to the Dex nav. Click here, scan. Alright, that's not what I wanted. Torn region, alright. Yeah, we can do that. I mean, I'm still interested, because this... Here's how it works, alright? This could go a few ways. One, I think he's unable to control Rayquaza, and Rayquaza breaks free or something. Or maybe like how the Darkrai cult tried to summon Darkrai. Darkrai simply goes back to wherever it was summoned from. Either that, or Rayquaza goes back to where it was summoned from. Or Rayquaza breaks free and then like wreaks havoc on the region and we have to stop it. Or I don't really know, actually. Because, I mean, this is far from the climax of the game, and we know this. I mean, we only have 2 gym badges out of 8, and there's still like 5 cults to deal with. The Groudon Kyogre cult, Darkrai cult, and Perfectionist cult. That's actually only 4. But there's still those 4 cults to deal with once we're done with this. And I assume we'll have to deal with all of them. Maybe not. Maybe it's possible that we ally with the Perfectionist cult, because they do seem to be the most, like... There was a phrase I used in the previous part. They seem to be the most, I guess... I don't even know. They're the most different of the cults. They're like... I don't even know what I used to describe, but yeah, we're gonna go past here. Can I go on the stage? No, I cannot. I don't really remember. There was a good phrase I used earlier to describe their difference, but it was like, they're the most, not out of the way, but like, I don't know. It'll come to my mind. Let's see what's going on now. Alright. Is that Chansey? Will this heal my Pokemon? Oh my god. Please, does that mean I'm gonna have to battle? Oh my god, I'm probably gonna have to frickin'... Am I really gonna have to battle the augur? please don't tell me I'm gonna have to battle the Augur. I mean, that's what it's making it seem like right now. I mean, at the very least, because I can heal my Pokemon. I thought it was going to be because we couldn't heal, it would be some sort of like cutscene involving Rayquaza. But now it seems like it's possible. Also, Mysterio doesn't necessarily need that. I guess we could have it keep the EXP share for now. And then what we should do is we should put Demix in front. And then, yeah, put Spicy Ice in the back. I'm not sure if I gonna battle him, I'm probably gonna lose. Because, I mean, the only reason I was able to beat the East was because I had an extreme type advantage. And now knowing I can't exit the building, I can't really train up. So, unless the Augur uses, like, only Dragon types, I don't really have that big of an advantage. Alright, let's see what's gonna... Oh. Let's go this way. Alright. So, we already got the wind going, so we know shit's going down. It's serious. Let's just move ahead. See what's up. What's up here? There's the Augur. The hell is that? Oh, so the green orb, that's like the essence of East? Because we saw him turn into that green orb. I assume that the green, like, crystal, that's what's used to summon Rayquaza. Yeah, he literally describes it as a crystal. Alright, it's been in possession of the first Augur for as long as I can remember. So the first Augur had the crystal summon Rayquaza. It's assumed he probably had stuff that the other cultist wants, but I mean, why didn't he destroy it? I don't know. I guess first Augur incompetency can cough it up to that, but to use of research and experimentation, I'm no closer to finding out. So then, how is he knowing someone's Rayquaza? On the other hand, I've learned some very interesting things about what this crystal is capable of. Alright, so he just knows what it can do, not what it, like, means, or, like, I guess what's the backstory behind it, or whatever. Why does he walk so slowly? Any kind of magic-based attack, such as a spell or Pokemon attack, requires two things, a focus and energy. What? Focus energy? The move? Oh, so he's actually getting into some Pokemon backstory. The energy is the power source for the attack or spell, and the focus is what directs it to do something. For example, Fire-type Pokemon may be able to blow blasts of fire at a foe. However, if they run out of PP power points, they can't. Alright? In this case, the focus would be the Pokemon using the move, and the PP is a measure of energy left. This is kind of like the essence of East and the crystal itself. Makes sense? Yeah. As near as I can tell, this crystal is a limitless source of energy. It contains the power of 1,000 suns, maybe more. 1,000 suns isn't limitless. It's a lot of energy, but... See what he's saying, though. So with this incredible first power, the first Augur is able to protect the region. So the first Augur was actually tapping into the power of the crystal. That's interesting. Defeat cult after cult. So he actually was defeating cultists, but I guess granted, he still let him go, so it wasn't really, like, defeating or, like, saying them, putting them down for good. Everyone says Pokemon were incredibly strong. It's because they had the energy to use, well, incredible attacks. So, yeah. I mean, I really don't think we're the first Augur. I mean, it makes sense. I can see it, that being the big plot twist. Especially if we've never, like, heard of him or seen him before. But it wouldn't make sense, because wouldn't people for surely, like, recognize this as the first Augur? I don't know. But that actually is some interesting, like, insight. The first Augur, it's interesting. Because the first Augur now seems exactly what I initially thought the second Augur to be. Someone who portrayed himself as a deity to the masses. Because if the first Augur wasn't actually as strong as it seemed, in that he was... in reality, using the crystal to enhance his Pokemon. Like, he could have been fairly weak and still been able to be the strongest trainer in the Tauren region as long as he had that crystal. So yeah, now it's making it seem like the first Augur is really like the bad Augur. Because if this second Augur was able to do everything without the crystal, or at least without, like, and also yeah, this is true. But if he was able to, like, defeat cults, or, like, stamp out a decent amount of the cults without letting them out of jail, or without giving them, like, mercy or whatnot, or a second chance, without the power of the crystal, he actually has some strength to back himself up. And not only that, also somehow that he was able to, I guess, well, gain whatever he needed in order to do whatever he wants with the crystal now, without the crystal's help. That's also, like, a testament to the second Augur. I mean, I have to give props to the second Augur. He seems, even though the game's trying to portray him as sort of, like, a corrupted version of the first Augur, at least from my point of view, it's making it seem like the first Augur was more so a fraud. More so, like, a figurehead to the region, using the crystal like to basically bolster his strength rather than using his own willpower and his own like Pokemon as his source of strength to defeat the cults. And the second augur, he seems to be doing the exact opposite of that. He seems to be gathering the resources without the help of the crystal because he has some ultimate plan involving the crystal that he doesn't want to drain his power for, which is probably to summon Rayquaza. It's like basically they're like two opposites pretty much, it seems like. And that could be like a reference to like us in Yern, if we are indeed the first augur. If we are, then we're really such a shit person. But like, I mean, it's the first augur got everything he needed to be done using the crystal, and then ultimately tried to be the better person by, again, with the superhero mentality. And even so, it isn't really, because it was more so not necessarily him taking the moral high ground doing the right thing, because he never did that to begin with, because he was using the power of the crystal in order to bolster his own strength. It was more so about him appearing friendlier to the masses. Even though he, not unlike the second augur, erected statues in his honor, he didn't release them because of his moral like compass, because if he had a moral compass he wouldn't be using the power of the crystal or draining it or whatever. It was more so about him appearing like a good guy to the masses. And this is kind of like with because some of the people have been questioning the second augur when they don't realize what the first augur has done or what the first augur did. And when taking a look at the second augur, Yern, right here, like, he hasn't used or at least this is making it seem like he hasn't really tapped into the power of the crystal because he wants to save it for his ultimate plan or whatnot, which, although may be evil, you have to take a look at how he made it happen or how he got to this point. Up until this point, it's making it seem as if he's relied entirely on his own strength as opposed to using the crystal to bolster his power, and using his own strength to stamp out cults more effectively than the first augur, because he wasn't more so concerned with appearing friendly towards the masses, as opposed to simply stamping out the cults. Like the first augur, he didn't need to erect statues in his honor, because he was saying, oh, look at me, I'm such a good guy, I'm letting these cultists go, I'm being merciful, giving them a second chance, when in reality, he never was stronger than them. He was just using the crystal to bolster his power, and in order to defeat the cults, in order to make him look good, and then ultimately doubling down on that by releasing them and making him look better. The second augur, in order to counteract simply all his, like, what are rational and objectively correct, and what would you call it? I guess has the most net gain for society in terms of stamping out the cults. Although he's not as merciful as the first augur, because that's what the masses are, that's what they're not even necessarily inclined to believe, but that's what they're like, I guess, used to. That's what they're expecting. But because of that, he had to, like, I guess, bolster that in a sense by erecting statues of himself, which aren't really that good. I mean, I'm not saying the second augur is a good guy. I'm saying he's a better guy than the first augur. I'm saying the first augur was a pretty bad guy. But the second augur, even though he has, like, his plan is flawed. However, he really wants what's best for the region. And by stamping out cults, not letting... Because the first augur wanted what's best for himself, using the crystal for himself, and ultimately taking the moral high ground in order to double down on his appeal to the masses. While the second augur wants what's best to the region, not really caring how he gets it done, looking at things from the most objective and most rational standpoint, and ultimately relying on his own strength rather than the strength of the crystal. More so because he needs it for his plans rather than I think he wouldn't use it, because it's more so opportunity, but like, he can't really use it because he needs it for his plans. But that also shows that regardless of whether or not he would use it, because he was able to accomplish what he did using his own strength as opposed to the strength of the crystal. I guess I've spoke about this for like 10 minutes now, so I really am wasting time. But basically, even though the game's trying to portray the first augur as sort of like the good guy and second augur as the bad guy, it's more so portraying the first augur as like a bad guy and the second augur as, I guess, would you call that delusional? Maybe. As someone who's delusional but really wants what's best for his region as opposed to himself. So now it's my turn to put this great gift to good use. So yeah, this makes it seem as if he hasn't been using it up till now. I wonder if we will battle him, because if we do, then we can get a good feel for how strong he is, and like his team. I use the soul of my servant East to summon the mightiest of beasts. And here's the thing. He didn't back out of his deal. He sacrificed East in the end. And I gotta give him credit for that. I was sort of hoping he would. Second Augur's actually a really good villain, because he's not like a bad guy in a sense. He's just doing what's best for his region. But as our duty, it's sort of our obligation in order to stop him. Like, not necessarily because it's better for the region, or I guess it's good for the region. It's just if we don't, no one will. So, come forth, and if he's unable to stop us, then it wasn't meant to be. Sort of like that kind of thing. Because given his speech, I mean, he really does... Oh. Oh, shoot. The game actually didn't crash. I thought it crashed. But I mean, yeah, I'm enough speaking, because then the game's not gonna go forward. You'll be my focus. I'll use your abilities to harness my limitless energy. Alright, let's see what happens. Hopefully the game doesn't lag out. Is it actually going to be Rayquaza? Shiny Rayquaza. I wonder if you could shiny hunt in this game. I assume that's a symbol for Rayquaza. I mean, what else would it be? Let's see what happens, though. I'm curious. Because this clearly isn't the climax of the game. Oh, for a second I was worried. I thought that was the game crashing. Let's see what happens. I wonder if there is Rayquaza. So so Rayquaza is East in a sense. Huh, that's weird. But I mean, here's the thing though. So he succeeded where the Darkrai cult failed. Or I guess the Darkrai cult did manage to summon Darkrai, but I mean, it got away. So let's see what happens with this. Together, the world can be ours. You'll be my focus. You'll harness my limitless energy, and under our leadership, we'll create a utopia. There will be no crime or hatred, no war or revolution, only a perfect, peaceful society, and I'll be its king. And as for you, Raven, I should have dealt with you in Telnor Town when I had the chance, because apparently we met there. I completely forgot, but you're more of a threat to me than you have even begun to realize. This makes it seem... Here's the thing. There's probably 2 climaxes to this game, with this being the first one. This is probably around like a halfway point in the game. Like, sort of like a mid-point in the game. Not the final climax, but, like, the initial climax, where clearly this is, like, sort of meant to be, like, the final boss, or, like, the final boss battle for, like, the initial part of the game, or, like, the mid-game or whatnot. Considering the Augur is literally the champion of the region, or I'm not even sure he's the champion, but just, like, at least the leader of the region. But considering the second Augur is a villain in this sense, or at least an antagonist, and we have to battle him now, I mean, it simply makes sense that this is, like, sort of split into 2 climaxes, I guess. And ultimately, what, in regards to what will happen with Rayquaza after this, because we've already seen, like, quite a few legendary Pokemon. We've seen Darkrai, we've seen Shaman, we've seen Mew, we've seen Reshiram, I'm pretty sure it was, but if I let you go, who knows what you might do? Who knows what kind of trouble you'd stir up? Restore room in my perfect world for any insurgent who opposes me. Ah, that's the game title. And if you stand away, I'll squash you like a gnat. Prepare yourself, Rayquaza. Show him no mercy. Are we actually going to battle Rayquaza? Are we actually battling Rayquaza, or are we battling him? Does he only have Rayquaza? He only has Rayquaza. What level is it? Please don't be above level... Alright, it's only level 50. I mean, this is going to be a... So, does he not have a single Pokemon? Not gonna lie, this theme is pretty fire. I don't think we... Yeah, this is his theme. We haven't come across it in the game before. Yeah, this is a pretty nice theme. Can't hear it because the quality of my audio is shit, but I mean, if you look at... I assume it's on YouTube, I don't know. Because I've been listening to, like, the Shade Force theme or whatnot, so I assume it's on YouTube. I'm just gonna let this guy take the L. I mean, Demix is gonna die. It doesn't really matter what happens now. What? Is that a Mega? Oh my god. You serious? Oh my god. Mega Rayquaza. That's such a troll. Am I going to be able to beat this? Protecting flying type Pokemon. From super effective attacks? Hold on. So it's... Rayquaza is Flying Dragon. It's not normal. Flying Dragon. However, flying type Pokemon are protected, so ice type moves don't work, I think. Or at the very least, they're not super effective. However, it's still part Dragon. I think I gotta switch into Demon. Dragon Ascent. I really have no clue how I'm going to defeat this thing, if I'm being quite honest. Let's get our Mega. Let's Dragon Breath. It's probably going to kill me in one shot, because I assume it's faster than me. There we go. Yep, outsped me. Is Dragon Ascent flying? It is flying. And it has, like, it's lowering its defense. But, I mean, I think Dragon Ascent can one-shot every single one of my Pokemon. If I'm being straight honest. Spicy Ice. Like, if I use Ice Beam, this is the only one where Flying-type moves aren't super effective. So, Ice Beam. Dragon Dance. It's Attack and Speed Rose. See, like, let's see Ice Beam. It's not super effective. What? Hold on. Let me look up Mega Rayquaza's ability real quick. Because for whatever reason, I thought its ability protected flying type Pokemon in the sense that there were no super effective moves. I didn't expect to be able to one-shot it with Spicy Eyes. Oh my god. Hold on, let's go to Rayquaza. Yeah, so it is Dragon Flying. Let's go to the Wikipedia. Let's not go to the Wikipedia. Let's go to the Bulbapedia. Alright. Let's see. So, Mega Rayquaza, Delta Stream. Affects weather and eliminates all flying-type Pokemon weaknesses. Alright, so maybe it was just 2 times effective? I think that's what it is. I think Ice was only 2 times effective in this case scenario. But because it had 50% special defense, it just did a shit ton of damage. I mean, Spicy Ice is going to be level 45. Hopefully. That gained like 0 experience. Or Mysterio got all the experience. Yarn. Can't believe it. The power of the crystal failed me. I'm asking questions, though. I thought it was going to be a full-on battle with him and like a full set of Pokemon. If he doesn't have a single Pokemon on his team, I mean, does that really make sense? So did he, I guess, I don't know. This makes me question what I thought earlier. Did he really stamp out any cults? I'm not sure that's really what happened then. If he doesn't have any Pokemon. It seems he was more so using the Sky Cult to do his work, as opposed to actually, I guess, doing his job as the Augur. So I guess that kind of makes me have a more negative opinion on him. Because I initially believed that, because he was complaining a lot about how the first Augur, I'm not going to click past this till I'm done with my monologue. He was initially complaining about how the first Augur was being merciful towards the cults and wasn't doing as much as he could to wipe out the cults of Torn. So that made me believe that Yarn took a big stand against cults and was only using the Sky Cult to simply summon Rayquaza rather than do cult stuff. Or I guess that is cult stuff, but like any sort of other cult stuff, like expanding, growing, fighting other cults, its sole purpose was for that. But if he doesn't even have a single Pokemon besides this Pokemon that he just summoned, then it makes it seem that, like, you know, he wasn't really taking a big stand against cults, and he was simply using the Sky Cult in order to do his job. Like, having the Sky Cult fight other cults, and this along with its goal of summoning Rayquaza. But I guess, yeah, let's get past this before the game crashes. Nice, 5,000 Poké Dollars. You're annoying brat. You were just lucky. I won't make the same mistake twice. Are we actually fighting it again? Because we can't fight it infinite amount of times. Something's going to happen in terms of, like, Rayquaza. Rayquaza's not going to follow Yarn. Because, I mean, we can't just fight it infinite amount of times. Like, that's not logical. So something's going to happen. Bring yourself back to full strength and we'll resume the attack. Use Icy Wind now. Who is that? Irvin, I just dropped some ice around. That's the one girl that we haven't seen for like dozens of episodes, who also had the power of the legendary Pokemon. Also, Icy Wind isn't that strong of a move. I mean, I'm not sure what she's expecting it to do against Rayquaza. Granted, Ice Beam one-shot it, but I mean, it's a lot stronger than Icy Wind. Did you see where it landed? Oh my god, it was freaking Damien. I'm really not. It's a good thing Rayquaza is weak to ice. I mean, it had Delta Stream, so not as weak as it would be, but it's still 2 times effective. That one was for your lies to the Torn region. So who's speaking back there? Oh, it was still Damien. So Damien got up here. What was he expecting to do to freaking Rayquaza? I mean, Icy Wind, that's not... Oh my god, Damien, still useless, even after a year hiatus of me stopping, or of me not playing this game. Damien's still as useless as always. This one's for trying to kill my friend. He didn't even try to kill me. He actually did kill Easton. Was Damien not there for that? I don't know. Damien, just please get out. Let me finish this. You're not really doing anything. Oh, I forgot he had the legendary Pokemon. What happened to Rayquaza? Wait, before that, Rayquaza just disappeared. Rayquaza wasn't there. Is Rayquaza still around? If it was that easy to kill the crystal, I guess the first auger... Yeah, I guess the lesson this is trying to tell is that the first auger and the second auger are really the same. They're not good people. They're villains. They're both antagonists in their own sense. The first auger especially in his own sense. Since if it was that easy to destroy the crystal, it wasn't assumed that he couldn't. More so that rather he just chose not to because he wanted to use the crystal to bolster his own strength. And the second auger, props to him, he actually managed to summon Rayquaza and control it and Mega Evolve it. I so expected Rayquaza to just, like, completely disobey his orders, like kill him and then wreak havoc on the region. But if he was able to effectively control Rayquaza like that, I mean, gotta give him props. Even though he doesn't have a single Pokemon of his own, because he was able to do that. You fool, do you realize what you've done? I guarantee Damien fucked up in a sense. Now that the crystal's gone, the region's probably screwed. Fucking Damien, I swear to God, Damien, please just leave. Like, jump off the building, die, don't come back. I swear to God, if Damien freaking screwed the region, you broke a limited source of energy, now in pieces all over the region. Stupid child. Rayquaza, quick, those pieces need to be found before they fall into the wrong. That's what I was saying. Rayquaza disappeared before the crystal was broken. It couldn't have been Damien's Icy Wind. It had to simply be Rayquaza just, like, leaving. Hands. Damien, Raven, you have made a powerful enemy today. Where's Rayquaza? He's not here. I'll see you two that you both feel the sting of my wrath. Okay, he actually has Rayquaza then. So, it wasn't... He actually has full control over Rayquaza then. I really have to give him props for that. If he has Rayquaza in, like, an actual Pokeball... That's what it's making it seem like. Or at the very least, he has, like, it's basically his Pokemon now. I simply expected him to only be able to use it for this battle. I mean, I guess in a sense, Rayquaza was summoned using the essence of East, who was a servant to the Augur. So it makes sense that Rayquaza is also a servant. But I mean, hey, let's pick up some pieces of that crystal and help our own team. I mean... Our team's kind of underleveled. We could use some of the pieces of the crystal ourselves. I mean, is it not in our best interest? I can't believe you used Trainer all along. You took up to him. He was the hero, but I guess that was all. Propaganda, huh? I mean, yeah. It's interesting, though, because, yeah, now I really don't, because here's the thing. After this entire scene in, like, battle, in, like, other cutscene or whatnot, I have less respect for him in the sense that he didn't have his own team, wasn't using the crystal, or well, he still wasn't using the crystal, but I have less respect for him now because he didn't have his own team and wasn't stamping out the cults himself, as opposed to using the Sky Cult to fight other cults. But I have more respect for him because he was able to not only control Rayquaza, Mega Evolve Rayquaza, but also maintain control over Rayquaza now that we know it's a servant to him and is loyal to him. Even if he doesn't have it in a Pokeball, it's still his Pokemon. You gotta give him props for that. Worst part is that we can't tell anyone about this. I mean, that's true. Nobody will believe us. I know I wouldn't. Yeah, it's true. You know what we need to do? We need to fight these cults ourselves. Because the Augur clearly isn't doing it for us. I mean, it's weird, though. Because the first Augur, even though he took a stand against the cults, it wasn't about fighting the cults. It was merely improving his own image, and then he would double down on that when he let the cultists go. If he really cared about defeating the cults, he wouldn't let the cultists go. He would imprison them, execute them, or whatever. Punishment for the cultists is appropriate or fitting in this region. In the second Augur, we know he wasn't fighting the cults. I initially thought he was, and he had like his own team and was fighting the cults himself since he was the champion or leader of the region. because he did take a really strong stand against the cultists and like crime and whatnot in the region. However, it appears he was more so using the Sky Cult to do his work, and he was more so the like planning, and like he was more so the, what would you call it, organization behind everything. He's like the glue that holds the whole thing together. Basically, he was the one who was basically working to summon Rayquaza, not necessarily fighting the cultists himself, using the Sky Cult as sort of like his private organization to fight the cultists. Because he is fighting the cultists just through the Sky Cult, not himself, which I do have less respect for him for. But I mean, he still is doing it, because I'm still going back on my assumption that there were probably dozens upon dozens of cults when the first Augur was around. But the second Augur, putting resources into the Sky Cult, using the Sky Cult to limit the cults down to the now 5 that there are right now. But I mean, we're strong. We have legendaries on our side. After all, I think we could pull it off. But we can't use the legendaries, you idiot. Plus, there's the prophecy Nora was talking about. That's the girl. What's the prophecy? I remember the girl. I don't remember her prophecy. I just remember that she also had a legendary and was sort of like us in a sense. I nearly forgot. I found these on the ground where you and East battled. Who's speaking? I figured you should have them. They're yours after all. Oh no, he's speaking. Alright. Summit badge. Okay, so we actually got the badge. Aerial Ace. Alright. East Swill. In Utira Town. There's an old library there. Maybe we can learn more about the prophecy. We got East Swill? Damn, that's dark. I want to read it. I want to see what's on it. Nora was saying there too. Yeah, that's the girl. I guess I'm interested to see what she has to say. Because it's been so... When the last time we saw her was in that, like, town. And that was where we had, like, a battle. And she talked to us. I don't remember. But we haven't seen her since. See you later, Raven. Alright, I want to... On. Bro, what are you doing? Oh, hold on. This is interesting. We cutscene in the second Augur. Look at Rayquaza following him around like a good Pokemon. It's like in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Or Gold and Silver, as a matter of fact. Because it was started in that game where the Pokemon would follow you. That's in this game, too. Oh, that's funny. Imagine the second Augur walking around, like, just, like, random places, and then Rayquaza following him. Imagine being, like, a bystander, and you somehow, like, managed to walk past the Augur, and you just say you see Rayquaza following him. Is that a crystal shard? I think this is one of the shards of that crystal. Dude, you're not going to be able to get them all. I mean, unless, if it broke into, like, 4, 5, or 6 pieces, then yeah. But if it broke into, like, hundreds, you're not going to get them all. I mean, unless you can somehow use the crystals to find the other crystals, or, like, bring all the crystals to one place using some device or whatever, it's not going to really work. You feel the power emanating from it. This is about a third. Let's hurry, Rayquaza. I need to find the rest before they fall into the wrong hands. So it only broke into 3. Alright, that's not really that useful. And by wrong hands, I didn't discuss this earlier, but by wrong hands, I assume he means the other cultists. Because then the other the other cults. Because the other cults could use the crystal to summon their own legendaries, and it's quite possible. Because we know the Darkrai cult they were able to summon their legendary, but not keep it, or like prevent it from going back to where it once resided. But the other cultists, like the Kyogre, Groudon, and even the Perfectionist cult, they don't really have a legendary they're so fixated on. But like mainly those other 3 cults could use it to summon their own legendaries, and I assume that might be what the second climax is. One of the other cults, like using the power of the crystal to summon the legendary. It's actually interesting. Oh my god, Damien really did end up screwing the region over. Oh my god. Because here's the thing though, the crystal protected by the Augur. Granted, he did use it to summon Rayquaza and like heal Rayquaza, as it's a limitless source of energy. But it was still under the protection of the Augur. Now the crystals are spread throughout the region and could potentially land in the hands of another cult. I guess, yeah, because we know the first Augur used it simply to bolster his Pokemon. He didn't use it for any like sort of, I guess, what would you call it? He didn't have like any ambition involving the crystal. He didn't want to use it as like a fuel or energy source. He more so used it for personal gain rather than for the gain of the whole region, or the gain, or even if it's not necessarily the gain of the region, using it like for non-personal, like, I guess, needs or non-personal uses in terms of like using it for like a legendary. But I mean, we don't know. I do think it will fall in the hands of another cult. either Groudon or Kyogre cult, possibly even the Darkrai cult, and they'll use to summon their legendary. I still find it funny though that like, oh, I find this really funny that the second Augur is just walking around with Rayquaza and he's just talking to Rayquaza like it's his Pokemon as opposed to some deity or god or like legendary. I find that really funny. Hold on. Wait. This is, oh my god. So fucking Damien. Really, Damien, honestly, he should really just off himself. Like, he shouldn't even be on this journey. He single-handedly screwed over the whole region. Because this is the leader of the Kyogre cult. Just looking at them. I remember we battled them once. I think it was it might have been at the very beginning of the game. I don't remember. There's too many cults. Even though there's only 5 cults. I don't even remember his name. What's his name? I wonder what this is. It's 1/3 of the crystal. What's his name? Audrey, the leader of the Abyssal cult. Alright, so Audrey's the leader. This is probably just the admin. Well, if I show this to her. Yeah, Audrey is the leader of the Abyssal cult. Oh my god, this freaking guy. The leader of the Perfectionist cult. Oh my god, I see. If this is what I think it is. Oh, that's actually interesting. It would make sense that the leader of the Perfectionist cult would know what it is. Because he's not so obsessed and fixated with a single legendary. He's more so obsessed with ways to get stronger. With ways to break the limit. With ways to push Pokemon to their fullest. And unlock their true potential. That's why he did what he did with Delta Pokemon. That's why he's one of the few people in the region who advocates for Delta Pokemon. That's mainly because it can be assumed he's the creator of it. But he's also what did he say? He like pioneered or like he pushed for Mega Evolution as well, stuff like that. But I mean, I'll make good use of this. So it's not surprising that Rukra, yeah, that was his name, Rukra of the Perfectionist cult actually knows what this is. What about the other cult? Okay, hold on. Can I go back in the gym? Let's go back in the gym. Welcome to Jade Tower. The tower is closed right now. There's some incident upstairs. That's bullshit. I'm moving my way past. Alright, let's see what this person has to say. I want to visit one of my friends who worked here today. It's closed. That's not my problem. Hold on. Alright, so yeah, so that was what led us upstairs. Alright. And this is what led us here, and what leads us to the sewer. Alright. I see. Is that ever going to be open again? Probably not. I don't know. So what was... Okay, so I was like, wait, what was that whole Chansey healing thing for? And I forgot it was because we actually did have to heal our Pokemon. Hold on. Let's go to bag. I want to read East's will. Where's East's will? Document that shows the gym leader and testament... The last will and testament of the gym leader East. Does East have any relatives? I'm not sure. Who can we give this to? Let's give this to the Augur. Second Augur year. But that's interesting now. Now we know that the crystal was split into 3. Yeren has one of the pieces. And we've seen him use it. So he knows exactly what it is and knows what it can be used for. One of the shards fell into possession of Rukra, leader of the Perfectionist cult. And even though he hasn't used it like we've seen East use it, he knows what it is. And he probably will figure out what it can be used for. Considering he's not so... The Perfectionist cult, their focus is on getting stronger, not necessarily on worshipping a deity. So it's more so, it makes sense why he would know specifically what that's about, as opposed to simply being like, what was the... Audrey, leader of the Abyssal cult, which is now what we know the Kyogre cult. So her, I guess... her admin or whatever his name was. He has not a clue what it's about, but he's just like, this looks promising. I'll give it to my leader, see what happens. Alright, let's read his will. Why can I not read it? Alright, so, rip. Can I delete it? Mega Ring. What else did we get? Oh, so that was all we got. No, we got the gym leader and Aerial Ace. Can I teach Aerial Ace to any of my Pokemon? Hold on, I forgot I had this in order. Aerial Ace. Is this useful for any of my Pokemon? Every single Pokemon can learn Aerial Ace. Hold on. Cleaver? This might actually be interesting on Cleaver. Aerial Ace. Which move should be forgotten? We might want to forget Blizzard. Yeah. I think we'll forget Blizzard for Aerial Ace. Because that's super effective against what? Fighting, Bug. Those two I don't have counters for. Fighting... And I already have a counter for Grass. That's Ice. But yeah. I'd rather have Aerial Ace than Blizzard. So let's get rid of Blizzard. What about, Queen can learn Aerial Ace. That's interesting. So that's super effective against what? Fighting and Bug, which I don't have any super effective moves for. So yeah, that's interesting. Let's do forget Flatter. We don't really need Flatter. I guess. Hold on. What's Double Kick super effective against? Dark, normal. It's not too bad, I guess. Dark, normal, like Steel, Rock. It's alright. But I still don't have the counter for Fighting and Bug. So what I'll do is I'll forget Flatter. What I might do is I'll probably actually forget Double Kick when it learns Earth Power. So yeah, let's give Aerial Ace. Yeah, so let's also teach this too. Spicy Ice doesn't need to learn it. Spicy Ice already is a good move pool. But I mean, so let's see what's Aurora Beam, Disarming Voice. Unfortunately, it's a special attacker. I guess none of my R Pokemon need to learn it. So it was only. Let's see what other Pokemon can learn R moves. I'm not really gonna. Oh my god, I don't know. Yes. Let's see what. Because I'm not gonna do anything else this part. So I might as well just look and see what my Pokemon can learn. Flame Charge, Demon already knows it. Or no, Demon knows Incinerate instead. Charge Beam. Let's see, that's gonna be... Yeah, only Spicy Ice can learn it. Venoshock. I have no clue what Live Wire does. It's not actually that good of a move. I think it just... I remember it being like it paralyzed Pokemon on entry. Yeah, that could actually be alright. That could actually be alright. I might want to teach it to... Do I want it as opposed to Nuzzle, though? I'm not sure, because Nuzzle is guaranteed paralysis for Silverwind. Actually, Mysterio... Silverwind would be alright. It's super effective once. Against what? Well, I guess Fairy type is alright. Super effective against, what would you call it? Dark, Fighting. Bug would be super effective against Psychic, well, I'm already... I guess, mainly just Psychic, really. Silverwind's an alright move, though. Could raise all the user stats. And I already learned Hyper Voice, so I mean... And also, hold on. So, yeah. I guess that's what I'm hesitant on. Silverwind, maybe. Let's see. Alright, Incinerate. Yeah. You know what? I'll teach it Silverwind. I don't necessarily need Sing. So, and let's see. Silverwind. Yep. Let's just forget Sing. It's only 55 accuracy. It's not too good of a move. It really isn't. And then I could actually teach... And what was the R one? Aerial Ace. I'm not sure that's worth teaching to Mysterio. Like, you have to look and see what sort of types it would counter. I guess Mysterio, Aerial Ace. Because it's also not a physical attacker. So, Flying would counter, Fighting, which I already counter, Bug, and Grass. So, I guess it would counter... You know, I could put it in place of Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice deals a decent amount of damage, but it's a normal type move, which isn't really that good. So, I could do that. I could see myself doing that. I might be screwing myself over, but I mean, yeah. And I guess, let's see if, I really don't think I want Aerial Ace for, I mean, Spicy Ice or Demon. I don't see any moves that would replace, because Spicy Ice, it has the priority Ice move, which has come in useful. It has a base electric move, base ice move, the priority ice move, and then the 100% paralysis electric move. So yeah, I don't see a need to teach it. So yeah, let's see. Also, we can look at ourselves now and see that we have 3 badges. I wonder if I can see how many tries it took. But yeah. So let's look at so Queen I think needs 1 or 2 more levels. As soon as it learns, I think it's what, Crunch? Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll forget Double Kick when it evolves into... I'll forget Double Kick for Earth Power. Yeah, I don't want to replace any of these moves with, like, Aerial Ace. Because the priority Ghost-type move is alright. And this... Oh yeah, I did end up teaching this guy Aerial Ace, because Blizzard isn't really that useful. Yeah, and then Mysterio. Yeah, it's alright. Aerial Ace is a physical attack, unfortunately. But yeah, Mysterio doesn't need the EXP share anymore. So yeah, we can take that, because now it's level with the rest of my Pokemon. So now, yeah, I got my team of 5 Deltas and then 1 regular Pokemon. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Because I think at some point I'm going to phase out Queen, but I need to evolve Queen. The only reason why Queen's still on my team as opposed to any other Pokemon is because I want to try and evolve Queen. So, like, I need to hit the, and I know where I need to go from now, because I went there in the, past. It was basically the cave. I don't know. Oh my god, the freaking leader of the Perfectionist cult was standing literally right out there. Alright, so let's not leave the town. I need to hit the Pokemon Center. Wait, what? Where's the Pokemon Center? I guess I underestimated how big this town was. So yeah, there's the Pokemon Center. I'm gonna end it after I get here, or after I get to the other part. So let's see. There was someone who told me that... I remember there was someone who told me to come to their house when I had the badge. I think it was one of the old gym leaders. Wait, what's going on? Breaking news. We're live with an exclusive interview with the hiker recently rescued from the Rezai Cavern. This was a hiker who got buried by the frickin'... It was either Sky or it was either the Sky Cult or the Abyssal Cult. One of the two frickin' buried him in Rezai Cavern. I remember that. Oh my god, that was brutal. But I mean, what does he have to say? I don't even remember this. It's good to have you on. It's good to be on, man. You described the situation we're on. So, well, you see, my family and I are mining around that cave. We heard there were some rare artifacts and all. We found this funny old scroll. It turns out these Sky Cultists up top wanted, and they threatened us. Sure, it must have been scary for you and your family. So that was the Sky Cult. Oh, it was, man. But our very own Augur found us. Told us everything would be okay. Did the Augur just go straight there right after? I mean, because the Augur wasn't around. He was, at the very least, in the, he was in the tower when we got there. He was sitting there perfectly, talking with East. So he had to either do that and then immediately beeline for the tower, or I don't even know. Maybe this was because this was after we got there, because we saw the guy get buried. He lifted us out and helped my family and I. Could never pay him for anything like that. Just know Augur's going to help us take down Sky Cultists. Oh, fantastic man. Won't believe a word against him. No siree. Thank you so much for joining us. That concludes our special broadcast. Sorry about that. I'm so glad the Augur here is to protect us from people like the Sky Cult. We hope to see you again. That's funny. That's funny. That's actually really funny. But I mean, so the Augur must have done that and then just immediately beelined, like booked it for his tower, Jade Tower. But yeah, this Pokemon, I guess Psyshock isn't too bad. It's 80-100, so I can actually fight with that Pokemon. But yeah, I need to give an actual item to Mysterio now. I guess what I could... No, I'm not going to constantly switch off the EXP share. Let's see. What can we give? Let's see. Hail. Nope. Ivy Stone. Grass Moves. Grass Moves isn't really useful. Keep wild Pokemon away. That's what I could give it for. Steel. Ghost. I could give it the Destiny Knot. I mean, what is... Yeah, I could give it the Destiny Knot, I guess. Give to Mysterio. I mean, Aurora Beam is alright. So, I'm just going to say that. But I need to know... Because I'm not going to do any more progress. I already got through all of that. So that's just this episode. That's interesting, though. Because that is, like, the first climax. And now we're almost in, like, a different phase or a different part of the game. Where basically... It's, you know, now, is this, oh, this, so he was going to give me something if I got the badge. Yeah, hold on. I do have the badge. Beedrite. Are you kidding me? Oh, Pidgeotite. Wait, so don't tell anyone about him here. Because, yeah, we know the gym, or, like, the city that he was in was kind of a shithole. So, like, it probably makes... people probably don't want to know their gym leader's living in, like, living in a shitty city that they're in is actually living in, like, the capital city of the region. So, I mean, it makes sense. Because looking at the, I also wanted to look at the Dex Nav for, like, this. But, so where was so this wasn't the town he was in. I'm pretty sure this was the town. Either Korora Town, no, Vipik City. Because the cities are where the gym leader is. This is Suntouch City. That's our first gym battle. This was the R City, Vipik City. I'm pretty sure Mechi Town was the town where we met the girl in. Nora was her name. I'm pretty sure. And then, yeah. Yeah, Nora, yeah, that's pretty sure where I met her. Because, we spawned in this cave. We went down to Townor Town, which is, that's where we got our first Pokemon. Then we went up to Midna Town. We didn't hit, Ancient Ruins, but we went straight to Suntouch City, and then down here. So it seems like our region's gonna sort of take a, like... It's interesting, though, because our journey, we're not going up Route 17, but we're going through the Cave of Steam, which will lead us to Utira Town in the Utira Library, which is where Nor and Damien are. And then Miara Town, and then look to the Stormy Seas and Whirl Islands, which is where Lugia is. Or at least, yeah, that's where Lugia is in Gold and Silver and Heart Gold Soul Silver. But I mean, it's interesting though, because Whirl Islands, that could be a place that we know that the Abyssal Cult has one of the crystal pieces. They could potentially use the crystal piece to try and summon their legendary Pokemon here, and we might need to stop that. Either that or, I assume, Mist Island, but that might be more so. Mist Island is probably some, like, endgame stuff, like post-game. I assume this, Rose Crater, that might be where another legendary Pokemon gets summoned. Potentially we already saw them try to summon Darkrai and failed. Darkrai might not be coming back. I mean, I guess it probably is coming back, but I mean, yeah, this might be where the Groudon Cult makes their stand, because I'm pretty sure there is a Groudon Cult. I'm pretty sure we saw him one time. Darkrai might get summoned here. Oh no, that's the Pokemon League. Shoot. So there is actually a champion. Oh my god. Besides, so the Augur is completely different from the champion then, but yeah, so I guess this might be where the Darkrai is summoned. This might be where Groudon is summoned. And then this, which is coming up soon, which is why I wanted to point out, is probably where, what do you call it? Kyogre's gonna get summoned. But yeah, so let's very quickly, I guess, do we need anything? I might want to spend some money on potions, but I still have 3 Hyper Potions and 3 Revives, so I think that's good enough. So yeah, what I was gonna do is I'm gonna go down here. Yeah, let's surf. Let's avoid any Pokemon. I'm just gonna run away if I encounter a Pokemon. But yeah, so we bowed this guy, and originally that cave was blocked off, but now by a Sky Cultist, but now look, it's not blocked off. This is what I'm going to explore in the next part, which is probably going to come sometime next week, but yeah, we covered a lot in this part, so I don't want to overdo it. Going to double save just to be sure, but yeah, I mean, so yep, I'm going to end it here. That's it for today. Tomorrow it is then.